And we're on.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's Coffee Tonic Friday.
Yes, front porch blend. 24 hours in the fridge.
I need to set up a stand next to Tom at the farmer's market and just sell tonics and be like, this is what it can be. You know, this is an option.
This is what it could become.
Well, like, those kind of need to be mixed in fresh. So, like, it's not like a Lemonbean where you can, like, bottle it.
A Lemonbean you can bottle and it's amazing, but a tonic,
we could bottle it.
It's possible. I think it's very possible.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. We need to look into that.
How does one do that? Coffee regular.
Talk to Brandon about it, you know.
Yeah, really. Let's talk to Brandon about it.
He has all the resources. So it's Friday. Beautiful Friday. It's kind of like a weirdly kind of rainy week a little bit up until this point.
The rain was, I think,
hot and muggy.
Needed though. It was hot and muggy, but it once it's done, it's like cooled everything off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been cool.
That's nice.
I'm pleased.
Yeah, the coffee tonic is hitting today. That's what I needed.
Oh, I'm glad.
A little more refreshing.
I thought of it yesterday in the morning. I thought, man, I need to...
Time to go classic.
I got to finish up this front porch, and I'm going to make cold brew with it. But man, we should do tonics today.
Yep. Hitting the spot. We're reading an interesting article prior to the cast.
Mm-hmm. And a portion of it quite reminded me. So, this article is called Why Facts Don't Change Our Minds. And it's from the blog of James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits.
Great book. Gotta read it.
I've never read.
Oh, it's great. I have a copy.
But I just subscribed to this cat's blog because I like this article so darn much. And it was posted by Rosi Sexton, who is a former MMA fighter. And if you know MMA, you should know who the hell Rosi Sexton is because she was awesome and remains awesome. She's now a politician over in GB. And I think unintentionally rising through the ranks of the Green Party, very much by accident, simply because of her conflict resolution skills and her math degrees, as they say she studied the maths, as they say in Britain. And so she's logical and can, I don't know, hurt you in many ways, which makes her a force for reason.
There's no go around for violence. She's right there, ready to go.
I mean, yeah, it's happening. It's not violent to her.
Right. It's fun.
Yeah. But no, this is a very cool article, and the chunk of it that reminded me of you was one about the portion of how to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not difference. Difference doesn't build. It's not difference. It's distance.
That breeds the hostility and tribalism and weirdness. Yeah.
Yeah, and the solution was to sit down and eat.
Yeah. Breaking bread with people.
Yeah.
And breaking bread with people that you don't necessarily agree with, or like you don't even know them. You know, just with a stranger.
There was a nice Abraham Lincoln quote in the article. It said, he said, "I don't like him very much. I should get to know him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That'll take care of it.
Yeah, instead of being repelled to not, you know.
Yeah.
But that's sort of what we were talking about last episode when I was like, coffee shops are the penny university basically, like, because you can sit and talk to people from all sorts of different creeds, backgrounds, races, religions, whatever, over a cup of coffee, right? Have that bonding experience, you know?
Yeah.
How many times has a cup of coffee turned into a meal and turned into whatever, you know, turned into, X, Y, Z.
Or just turned into a long conversation.
Right.
Of, a safe place to express your opinions without being ridiculed.
Yeah, and just having an open ear, you know?
Yeah.
But being able to, just express ideas, share ideas, exchange knowledge, bounce ideas off each other, much like jiu-jitsu mats, right?
Yeah, very much. The ideas exchanged while trying not to choke or attempting to choke someone can be very funny.
Mm-hmm. But
conversation.
The article said there's nothing, like getting hands-on and like passing the salt to a stranger, you know what I mean, and unfolding napkins at the same time. It's like, sort of a vulnerable state, which...
But I think it puts everyone on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
Everybody eats.
Exactly.
So
everyone needs to do it, so...
Yeah. Everyone...
Do it together.
Eat food. Eat food together, yeah.
But just like the contact aspect, right? So then jiu-jitsu is very hands-on, obviously.
Yeah.
So like, and just even like I break down the slap and bump at the beginning of a roll, like that means a lot. You know, it means like if you tap, I'm gonna let go and not kill you, and I'm gonna try and take care of you. But we're gonna have a good training session. Like it's a double-edged sword. Like
that's a funny perception with the slap and bump, because traditionalists like Robert Drysdale got really into this on. He's been doing interviews for the book and the movie and book and the documentary Closed Guard. And I think he was talking to Shetty. Shetty's a dude that has a YouTube channel. He just goes deep on judo and how it connects, and just he's crazy. And
love it.
He lives in France, and he has like he speaks English in this whole thing, but he has like a really just chill voice. So Shetty's the man. I recommend him highly. But he says he likes that he has both. He's very traditionalist in the fact that he was like he bows before he goes on the mats, and he liked when he was in Japan because like the higher belts cleaned before class, and there was like this sort of rank thing, but it wasn't shitty. But then he's like, I really love jiu-jitsu because none of that exists too. But he's like, but then jiu-jitsu benefits from a certain amount of that, and I think the slap and bump is sort of the way in.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu has been so successful and flexible because of that, like, because it allows you to take what you want from what you want.
Well, his point was it is missing something though too.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain amount of structure that traditions can give and stability in that structure.
Agreed.
That jiu-jitsu doesn't really have.
That is a funny thing.
Yeah.
No, even it seems to work. I feel like no one's really figured it out in jiu-jitsu yet.
I like that though.
Yeah.
I like that
People
it's still a fluid
processing it. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't hold on to the old ways. Whereas, in judo, sure they figured it out, and if done correctly, it's awesome. But if not, they don't evolve.
Right.
Whereas jiu-jitsu's on the other end of the spectrum, and at least it's open-ended. You know.
Almost too much sometimes. Like
yeah, but
like,
I mean,
that's the good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
But then that, it's sort of your choice to like what you expose yourself to, like.
That I like about jiu-jitsu is that having been raised in a very like formal, even with my obsession with competition, which was a lot more laid back, it's still way more structured and formal than anything in jiu-jitsu. As far as taekwondo goes, I still bowed and held the door for a lot of fucking people.
Right.
Which is
it's just polite,
well, to the
Carries
point,
over
yeah.
nicely.
Is it polite or sometimes, and sometimes it was just because they were an asshole dictator.
Sometimes you gotta walk away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you don't have that room to walk away. But I like that I can bring the aspects of that I like. I can bow before I go on the mat. I can wash my uniform and tie my belt in a certain way. I can sit in a certain way and pay attention in a way that I enjoy. That's like formal to me and has like sort of roots in this really like militaristic shit that I grew up in. But I'm able to kind of take it and use it as like, I don't know, it's the cool part, the part I like about it.
It allows you to express the cool part without
the rest of it.
The shitty part.
Yeah, allow me to take the shitty part out and still be relaxed, but then have certain formalities that I feel to me are respect to what I'm doing.
But we have to look at it like, well, is that some weird shit you learned there that you're trying to keep alive, or like
yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way about it. Like some days I bow on the mat, sometimes I don't. Like, and either is fine to me. Some people do, some people don't. I'm not
sometimes I forget and it doesn't bother me anymore. It used to bother me.
Yep.
Fuck, I forgot. Now it's like, okay, yeah, it's okay.
Forgave yourself, move on, it's fine.
It's alright, yeah. But being able to sit down and have some coffee and eat and train with lots of people, I think, has sort of led to the ability to think about that. It's because if you stay within one tribe, everyone else is distant, they're all evil.
Right.
But then if you move around a lot, even within factions of your tribe, you start to see connections.
Yep.
And then if you move out and like, in the early days, this was hard to do, to train in a completely different art on the low. You have to keep a secret.
It's illegal.
But you learned a lot of shit and made a lot of parallels and like, oh, everyone's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everyone's cool, but...
Okay, everyone's potentially cool. Everything, I don't know, for me, all martial arts are cool.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Even ones that are predominantly useless I
think they're cool in their own right.
Something cool in them.
Yeah.
And maybe something useful, but sometimes they're just cool.
Even if it's like one little thing, you could turn that little thing into something big in jiu-jitsu, really. That's sort of the cool thing. Like,
truthfully, I use a lot of Hapkido in jiu-jitsu, and Hapkido is almost impossible to practice.
Yeah.
So
you have to like play with it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's another arena to play with. There's just a lot of communication that goes on within training without even speaking.
It's true. Yeah, there is a lot that you can have a very full conversation with somebody without saying a word.
Yeah, you learn a lot about how their day was, basically. Like,
oh yeah, you just feel it right away, and then how you react to that, and how good a friend you are to, like, how you both handle such a thing.
Almost like a therapy session. Like, all right, calm down, man. You're good. You're
just keep breathing. It's okay.
You got to choke you a little bit, but it's fine. Like,
yeah, we got to work that out. Let's get that out of your system.
Right. And then you're good for the rest of the class, and reset the system a little bit.
I remember one time, long ago in my previous life, I was doing the judos, and before I even knew I was doing Kosen judo, I was doing some sort of judo, and one of our first black belts under that system, actually, he was the guy who like prompted it all to happen. Came in and he was just like, he's normally a super happy dude. He was in a funk, man. He wasn't like, he just had a shit day. Like, it doesn't happen very often. He didn't really have to say anything. I just saw it. And so when we started rolling, he's much like, he's like a fire hydrant. Weighs a whole lot more than me. But I just made him have a rough ass time for about 10 minutes. Made him just struggle and like just and didn't say anything. Just and then when we were done, he's like, "Thank you."
Need that.
Yeah, he's like, "Thank you so much." Like, and he smiled, and like you could just tell he was so much happier. Because I could see, like, he just needed to get it out.
that's sort of like, again, he said thank you, and it fixed his day and stuff like that. But even if that goes unspoken, that's a massive benefit.
But he didn't have to say, like, I just saw that in him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is how we're going to cheer you up.
Yep.
It's
great. The little violence can cheer some people up,
Isn't it funny?
I think it cheers up a lot more people than you think,
Yeah, I mean, well, but that's the definition of violence. There's such a thing as, I mean, if all confrontation is violent to you, then there is such a thing as positive violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. I don't define violence in that way. But, yeah, if you do, then a good hard training session, some nice hard sparring, is definitely positive violence, for sure.
Yeah. And, like, that allows you to, again, coming back to being able to, like, back things up physically. Like, I feel like you start spitting out just insane ideas about something, like, people have to reel you back in a little bit, if you're just out on an island by yourself, like...
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like...
They gotta figure out what trees on that island are worth it.
Yeah.
Are any of them real?
So they're gonna be like, all right, maybe that's just a dumb idea, beat the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. But having that backed a little bit by an actual physical consequence
that's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm a person that tends to get way out there.
Yeah.
That's why I do too. I actually like to fight for that reason, because it reels me the fuck back in.
Yeah, it's very grounding. Very grounds you quickly.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
Never mind then.
Gotta work on that a little bit.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah. And then every once in a while, it's like, that idea was right.
Yeah,
I finally got it.
It's just kind of testing into the ethos. You're just like, fuck, see what's gonna happen out of it.
If it pops up, you're good.
Yeah.
But like, you have to be brought back down now for a lot to find the good stuff.
So that's something that's just like absent in like most of today's world, like
in general.
Physical consequence.
Physical. Like that's a cool way to put it. Is physical consequences absent? Like Mike Tyson, what was that? His great meme he has going around right now is, you can tell all the people. I can't remember the exact quote. All these people on the internet haven't never been punched in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. Like,
it's very much the truth.
People, and that kind of brings up like the hostility and the tribalism thing, is like people are able to get into these like weirdly enforced echo chambers with each other and just like scream weird shit, and then like everyone else is kind of sitting back like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, like,
but
why?
then people think that's like reality essentially when it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not entirely. Yeah, I mean, and even if they're like, even if they're right, it's like such a weird chunk of reality that it just doesn't fit into anything else, really.
Exactly. And it's just like a strange time to have people have access to something where every thought could be broadcasted to everybody. You know what I mean? Not everyone is supposed to be heard from.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. Not every thought you have is supposed to be heard.
Yeah, not every thought you have
is supposed to be heard from.
And that's the difference. Is like
not everything you say is 100% what you believe.
Yeah, or is it right or whatever? You
right
know what I mean?
Or
like,
wrong or anything.
but then also it's like you say some outlandish shit. Gotta get smacked around maybe a little bit.
I mean,
like, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
And like that's missing as well. So like it just kind of made this perfect storm of like, that's what I always talk about when like social media is a weapon and blah blah blah. Like that's sort of what I'm getting at. It's like it's so highly used, but it's so mostly useless. Like like
it's a sharp object in the hands of someone who doesn't know how to use a sharp object.
Yeah.
So,
and I get people build businesses and blah blah blah, but like other people use it for terrible reasons too. So like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, very much so.
And that's just the internet.
Later on in that article, that you'll have to read.
Yeah, I need to finish it.
I tossed it at him like when he walked in the door. So that's why he hasn't read it all yet.
How it is.
That chunk.
Organic thoughts.
He talked about the difference between conversation and reading. He said conversation's good, but people tend to really stick to their belief in a conversation because they don't want to look stupid. Mm-hmm. It's harder to be open-minded when you can be wrong in front of people. But he's like, reading's the way in, because you can give a book to somebody about something that is completely opposite of whatever it is side they're on or whatever, and they can read it and then have that conversation in their head and not have judgment or failure or anything in front of anyone. They can read the book and then actually think about it.
Well, even if it's just like I'd rather be presented with someone's idea of like, this is what made me think this way, and like maybe this way, you know. Mm-hmm. I'd rather be presented with it that way than having it being shouted in my face or something. I guess you know what I mean.
Agreed. I mean, I do that a lot with people on like social media platforms. I'm friends with fucking everybody from all spectrums and places and everything. Mm-hmm. And I kind of keep it that way intentionally, because I don't like to be pigeonholed, but I also like to have perspectives. Yeah. But anytime I see someone like going way the fuck one way or the other, a lot of times I recommend them a book.
Right.
Or a movie. I'm like, you should watch this. Or you should go read this book. Or like, this is a cool article, like, check that out.
That's an intellectual grounding of, it's like, hey, shake it out, you know?
Yeah, like, don't be so one-sided, man.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's human.
Yeah, that seems to be something now. It's like people want other people, or just assume other people are just totally infallible and you know, take everything they say as gold. Particularly in that age where not everyone should be heard from and everyone can say and hear and do everything. Yeah. And then like, some people would grab something from someone out of context and run with it.
Just go.
And then it'll be insane. Yeah. You know?
It
can be a firestorm quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it burns quicker now.
It's so quick.
It just instantly, but does it burn itself out quicker too?
That's an interesting idea, because it used to be the 24-hour news cycle, right? I mean, like, you get in the news, you're in the news cycle.
Even before that, it was the evening news cycle. Like the newspaper every day. Like you had multiple newspapers a day.
So now you just have that time chopping and incrementally
so then,
down.
Then the 24-hour news hit, and everyone's like, oh fuck, and everyone needs content for 24 hours. That blows. And now it's kind of moved from that to like minute by minute new media posts online.
And then,
it's like, so everyone's scavenging for content and clicks, and
that's the other like dangerous part about it, is like people are putting out stuff just to get clicks, or like just to be relevant. Yeah. Not necessarily factual.
just to be noticed.
Or even useful. Like, there's so much useless information or, like, useless articles that make you click through 10,000 pages for blah, blah, blah. Like,
I hate that. Yeah.
Stupid. Like,
it's all ads and little blips. You know,
yeah.
Like, I just want to read an article.
It's like most of the internet is just, like, coupon fodder in the mail. You're just like, nah, fuck it.
I just wanted to find out about the cast of Goonies today.
Yeah.
Why can't I just have one
I want to see what they're doing. God damn it. What is the guy who voiced Cookie Monster doing right now?
Is he eating cookies?
Come on.
That's all I want to know. Hey, speaking of useless things, I thought of a plot for Last Dragon Part 2 today. And I want this to be made because I need we're going to have a lighthearted interjection today because I need to put this out there. It's going to be called Show Nuff's Revenge. It's going to star Busta Rhymes as Show Nuff's son. Right? And you know how kind of like the point of Last Dragon was that, like, you're the master? Like, I'm the master. Like, you don't have to find one. Your teacher's you, right?
So
you're
it's kind
your
of be like
master,
a Creed
right?
situation, but like Last Dragon.
Well, so like Last Dragon was that. Like, that's kind of the whole underpinning of it, right?
Yeah.
Whole underpinning of this is like vengeance is just like forgiveness in disguise. Like, so Show Nuff starts out with vengeance because his father's life was ruined by being defeated by Bruce Leroy, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, like, they rap together or something. And like everyone, like, because Show Nuff's in it, so he has to have an original song. But then, like, forgiveness, and they realize, we can get the glow together, and
comes full circle, and yeah.
And like, everyone can wear cool ass outfits. And yeah,
Adidas will sponsor it.
That's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
It's perfect. Okay,
Dig.
I had to tell you. It's so good.
What is this book here now? This is
Way of the Peaceful Warrior. I was telling Brooke about it.
Yeah.
And she's on a spiritual quest now, and this is a good one.
Yeah. I haven't read it. I have to read it too. I have a couple books stacked up, so she'll read that first, I guess.
It's actually part of a series. I just found out there's a 4th book in the series, which I just bought. But yeah, there's like a prequel that talks about his teacher, which is really, really cool. Because it actually kind of ties into my family history. It ends up his teacher's from the same spot my family is, and left for the same reasons, which is very cool. And then there's like a gap in the book, in the story. If you read it, there's a gap where Dan, like, grows up and just kind of like skims over it. You're like, what the fuck happened? And there's actually a sequel to this that covers that gap.
That's cool. That's a cool way to do it.
I don't know what the 4th one is. I just got it. I'm going to read it.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, very, very, very great book. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm reading that pirate book.
Still on the pirates.
Yep.
Very nice.
Well, I haven't gotten a chance to read it much at all this week. Pretty much in the same place I was last week, so.
Oh, well then, okay.
Yeah, so don't have much more information about pirates, but.
Soon.
Get the concept.
Okay.
That's what podcasts are. Pirate ships. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. We're not gonna, like, invade other podcasts, are we?
Huh?
We're gonna, like, invade other podcasts and take their booty? I don't know.
Get that Joe Rogan money.
Get that Joe Rogan money. He just got that new studio.
Yeah.
What did he do with the old one?
It was just like in a compound somewhere, wasn't it?
It was his house.
I don't know. Like, because I think it was originally, and then, like, I'm pretty sure he got, like, an off-site joint. And now it probably is his house now.
Because he just built the new one in Texas.
With his ranch and shit or whatever.
Freaking cool.
But again, it's probably like an off building or an underground compound, or you get that Spotify money, you might as well plug that shit underground.
Yeah, man. I mean, truthfully.
But yeah, this week didn't sleep that. I kind of like broke more rules, you know? Like, I didn't hydrate that well. I didn't do my meditations, didn't do the things.
Ooh.
Kind of had a shitty week. Very direct consequence to it. You know?
So. Well, I got hurt. I did Jitsu for 35 minutes on Monday and got hurt.
Damn.
And it was heartbreaking.
Well, we talked about it a little bit. It could have been a decent hurt.
I'm hoping so. Because, I mean, I was doing okay in class. We went over kind of one of, like, a Vitor thing. Vitor was teaching. And Vitor's still your disappointed father. Don't worry. He's like Red from that 70s show. It's like,
Yeah,
dumbass. He doesn't actually say dumbass, but I know he's got to think it
What
when
he
he's training me.
means.
He goes, no, do this. It's so simple. Just here, elevate. It's fine. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I think it's funny, but no, man, we were doing like, you know, pass the guard or sweep at one point, and I was with some dude I didn't know, like new guy, like whatever, and he pushed my leg down, and my fucking leg just popped, and I was like, what in the hell? And I thought I pulled a groin muscle, which I may have done once in my life. Like, I don't pull muscles. Like, it's not a normal thing for me.
You're in a different spot, though. You're in a different phase.
It was weird.
And you haven't been split pass in a while.
That's true, yeah. And so I was like, what the fuck just happened? And so, like, I kind of stopped. I'm like, I'm out, guys. I'm out. And he's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm good.
Like, my hips are already fucked up enough. Gotta take a breather.
I'm taking a breath. So I kind of sat out, and I had like a shock response to it. I got real dizzy. I saw stars. I got nauseous. I was like, what the like, did something fucking fall off? Like, and it kind of gradually got more and more sore, and I was like, oh, fuck. And so I was just sad, because, like, literally I was back for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed because, like, 2 weeks ago, I fucking rolled for an hour with a guy who outweighed me like 50 pounds, and I was fine. And I go and do this, and I'm like, not fine. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I didn't see this coming.
Those were the ones. Like, that's what always scares me. It's like, I had a person I wrestled with in high school. He tore his ACL, had surgery, fucking getting out of bed to go to the bathroom, planted on his other leg, tore his other ACL.
That's how George St. Pierre tore his other ACL.
That is
he tripped on
insane.
that.
That's ridiculous. Like,
isn't it dumb? Yeah, it's like, what? How?
Yeah. So, like, I'm sure there's damage prior, blah, 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 whatever. But still, like, that alone, like...
Yeah, well, what I was thinking about is, I have that reaction, that shock response when I pop scar tissue. It's like I pop a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I thought about how it felt when I felt this tendon move. I was like, I may have just popped a bunch of scar tissue. Because my hip's gliding real well. And like
your body's disposing.
And like like I got it like I popped my back in a spot I've been trying to pop for like 6 months, and like my other hip's kicking in. I'm like, this may be a good thing. It might have just moved over because like that scar tissue just got finally taken away. So that's what I'm hoping happens.
That's sort of what I think kind of happened with my ankle a little bit too, because my hips are feeling pretty good, or like at least feeling back to normal and stuff.
Yeah,
because everything kind of locked up when I was like, you know.
But yeah, everything released and like
it feels kind of good. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Yeah, see, so hopefully
priming for injuries is a thing. Do it.
Yeah, so hopefully that was just a violent adjustment, and it was good.
Because this is like the ankle I fucked up a few times, so like
yeah, so it's got to have something in there.
Yeah. Feels great though.
Good.
Wolverine style, you know.
That's how it is, man. Yeah.
I think I was Huberman, Dr. Huberman, on his Instagram posts are super cool. Like,
he's been doing the brain ones every day.
Yeah, they're so cool. Like, I learn a lot.
Really?
So that's good information.
And I love that they're like
15
media. Seconds long.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff. Boom.
And like it's perfect for you know, simple folk like me.
It's a nice review for me. Like a lot of his basic brain anatomy I've already had to have it forced in my mind.
Just a refresher to touch on a little 15-second video.
That cool. It's a consequence-free refresher.
Yeah.
I don't have to regurgitate this shit for anybody.
For a grade or for anything.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I can just enjoy relearning it. Yes, thank you. If anyone wonders why I am reluctant to go back to school, it's not just the time thing. It's the consequences. I suck on paper. It's okay.
Me too.
Yeah. Great in real life, though.
Great on mats. Do that. I'll do that, you know.
Yeah, for real.
Do some math on the mats. We'll take care of that. I use geometry every single fucking day.
Yeah, those proofs are long.
Angles make strangles, baby. Yeah, we've been looking at like Kimura gripping and stuff, and just like playing with.
Have you done any reverse Kimuras?
Not a ton of reverse. Like we do it a lot naturally with like the pinching. Like we do the pinch stuff, and like we have it kind of mixed in, kind of naturally. It's not like
reverse Kimura sort of become like a cult.
Yeah, it's kind of funny on Instagram. It's funny to see.
Yeah, I really enjoy that page.
We do a lot similar stuff with it though too. Like that, just using the Kimura to like manipulate opponents, like kind of just like chase them into a bad spot. Really, like
it's a Kansas City shuffle.
Yeah.
Everyone looks left and you go right.
Exactly.
Someone has to die.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the Kimura like control in a nutshell. Is like when their hips run over to the left, yank their arm right. When they run over to the right, yank their arm left, and then keep it tight, and then you'll find it eventually.
You'll find something.
Out of an arm bar or a choke, something else. Like
you're connected to the body now.
Yeah.
Like
just a fun grip. Like I remember in Iceland we did this whole unit on Kimuras from this German dude who was just like loving fucking Kimuras left and right. So it was very cool. And I remember a lot of it. And I already like kind of did some of it, so it was kind of like just like filling in patches.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
And just from like that's why I like that type of thing, like a camp like that. You can pick and choose and go. Like you can't hit all of the classes, like you literally can't. So like you got to pick and choose, see what you want to do, like see what fits in, what you want to learn more of. Like did like a foot sweeps class at like 6 a.m. one day, like then did like a Kimura class, and then like a guard passing class, like just to hear other people's perspectives and different ideas with it. Like,
I want to do like a 2-week vacation, but I want it to be that.
It's the shit.
But I want to be gone for 2 weeks.
Right.
I just want to go someplace really fucking nice, preferably with surfing. I love waves. And I want to either like do nothing, do jujitsu, surf, or eat.
Oh, that's sort of like
of course, coffee is in there.
Well, yeah. Those camps are like it's like all encompassing. Is like we got surf lessons if you want to go do those. We got fucking acai bar over here if you want to do that. Like there's go to town, do this. It gives you the full spectrum of like what's available.
That's beautiful. That's my idea of vacation.
It's just it's the best.
Yeah.
So like I want to do more of those camps when everything's kicking a little more, and like
as the world opens back up.
Yeah. Well, they're still running them and still doing them. They like run tests and like
everyone's getting tested. And I saw
cool.
Globetrotters is still doing stuff.
Yeah, so like they're cool and everything seems fine. And
I still maintain though that's the best community to do anything with is jiu-jitsu. Everyone's healthy and clean and neat-free and knows their body.
Immune systems are tested and true, because you're spitting on each other and sweating, like, you know what I mean? Like, let your immune system do some stuff,
Yeah, so that's the safest travel you can do for sure.
Yeah. Well, then that, like, as soon as you get there, like, you're there. Like, you have an Airbnb or whatever they're doing. Like, it's all pretty nice. But Iceland was tremendous. They're doing one in Poland right now. Like, I want to do that. Like,
a dude I trained with at Ronin did one in Poland. I think. Yeah. I think it was Poland he went to and did one. He really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's tight. Yep. Jiu-jitsu's cool. Coffee's cool. Just builds that community.
Yep.
It's like the same thing as, I just like the double edge of like, you could have a nice roll, have a cup of coffee, have a chat, open up some crazy shit,
See people as humans.
Yeah, see people as humans.
Not as others.
I mean, just something as simple as discussing a technique and just exchanging ideas on that. Why can't you take that and do that elsewhere in life?
I mean, through a technique, I think is a good practice.
Yeah.
To be able to do that elsewhere in life.
Yep.
Yeah. Tonic is good today.
Tonic is hitting. It's good. That's
I'm getting more front porch plan next week.
Nice. So. Last week is the last market.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, next
market.
week. The last market.
So I'll spend a lot of money on Tuesday.
Yeah, I got my brother-in-law in on we're doing a bison roast, and he's gonna cook it in his big green egg. So hyped.
Dude, I got some bison New York strip steak.
Ooh.
Because my daughter wanted some steak.
Get you that bison.
And I just pan fried it in iron skillet with some avocado oil and some Irish butter.
Beautiful.
And she was like, "It's perfect, Papa. It's so good." And then what she didn't eat, I ate, which wasn't much. She ate almost all of it.
Right.
Yeah, it was really good.
The bison is very, very tremendous.
Yeah, it's not super fatty though, so it's like
very lean.
You gotta cook it.
You gotta kind of fatten it up.
It's easy to overcook, which is why I put all the fat in there. And then I kind of steamed it. Actually, I put a lid on it.
Nice.
And like seared both sides and cooked it with a lid on. So.
Yeah, but just experimenting with different types of cuts of stuff and like different ways of cooking it and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Dude has a lot of variety, man.
He does.
A tremendous bison products.
Yep.
But he has like off-season ordering and appointment stuff, and I'm like considering doing.
I'm really thinking about it too, man. Because I don't eat a lot of meat, which justifies getting bison in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Get the meat when you do it.
Yeah, when I do, I want good stuff, and that means I can afford good stuff because it's not going to go that fast. And I have a freezer in the fridge. So.
Trying to see if we can split up a community bison somewhere.
I'll go in with you, man.
Yeah, I've thought about. Because I want to try and do like a couple people, you know what I mean? Like going on like quarter, half a bison, like try and go on like a bison with my brother-in-law. Now we have a lot of fucking bison, you know?
Yeah, man, that's true. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, because that New York strip was good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've switched to just better sourced meats. Like I do eat meat. I like meat. I do it, but I do it in a much more responsible way now.
Yeah, when you're a little more picky about it, it's beneficial, man, in every way. I think if you have some standards and you live up to them.
Yeah, like even eating it, I feel more like responsible. I'm like, there's less involvement between their hands and my hands. Like there's less people touching it.
Less people in the chain.
They took care of this animal, and and I'm grateful for it, and blah blah blah,
Yeah, so I like the directness of it.
Yeah,
it's I think locals making a comeback, dude.
It needs to. The community aspect of just food, I think, needs to happen, especially I think with quarantine and like.
I think the farmers market, the response to the farmers markets is amazing.
Yeah,
because our farmers market's always done well, but this year it is packed the minute it opens.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just packed.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not used to that. Like, I'm like, I gotta find the parking space at the farmer's market?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that's cool. I hope that sort of is the beginning of just a societal shift back to community and like locality.
Yep.
And everyone kind of seeing each other as just like your neighbors.
Right.
Like, I don't know any of my neighbors except for like one. Okay. So, like, I'm not really part of a community, right?
Yeah.
But you see people interacting and, like, going to the farmer's market, and people like you who never really did it before and are fascinated by the fact that I'm talking to the dude who grew this.
Yeah.
I'm giving them money directly.
He's grateful for it directly.
He's grateful. I'm grateful. And, like, I like a lot of people at the farmer's market. I talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people. Like, we came late on Tuesday, and everyone was like, oh, we were worried you weren't there.
Yeah.
And
no,
like the flower lady made us a bouquet. She saw us coming and was like, "Oh, I'm almost done. That's what I have left. We're worried you guys didn't show up this week."
Yeah, I was talking to Tom. I talk to Tom every week.
Yeah.
Stop in. Yeah. Again, just like the community aspect, bringing people together.
It's really cool, man. I love it.
And just kind of knowing where your food is coming from quality-wise, and just like who's handling it, and just less.
Is nice.
People handling it,
Yeah, it's less people handling it, and it's
grown with love.
Yeah, the standard's different, man.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, for the past few weeks, like we've pretty much just primarily eaten from the farmers market, really. So like, it's been tremendous.
That's what we do all summer, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But just my fascination with it has started with local coffee. So like, it's a thread into it,
That's how you go. That's how.
And now we're going hard on the local stuff. So.
Yeah. Hey, how was the Swiss char?
Good. Very good. Yep.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I tested some of it and then I killed some of it on accident.
Oh, it's okay.
I wilted
it anyway.
Yeah, it was good though. Yeah. The portion that I did eat was good.
Okay, nice. There's more.
Yeah. But the summer zoomed by, I feel like.
In some ways, yeah. Like once lockdown lifted.
Well, just because there weren't like events of the summer. Usually, like we had like Coffee Fest or like this.
Yeah,
or that.
They didn't have any milestones. There were no benchmarks this summer.
Very smooth roller. So it's like, shit, all right, fall's here. Like time to pull back up again.
Yeah, damn.
And the involuntary yearly quarantine anyway.
Yeah. And I've been trying to just be out here as much as possible.
Yeah, like that's what I want. I want to try and soak up what I can. Gotta get that natural vitamin D while I can,
I'm just particularly pleased with my backyard this year.
It's tremendous.
It's really coming together.
Really enjoying it.
And I got plans for like the fall and through next year. I've really like put stuff in place, like what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna expand stuff. You know, and it's like because I've been out here so much, it's been realistic. And it's very accomplishable.
If you build it, they will come. If you spend time with it, it'll happen. Like that's why I've always felt like
we redid the playset. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. If you just like look at something long enough, it'll start to. You're gonna start doing something with it.
Get the idea. Yeah.
You know. That's like I think like home ownership and stuff is pretty neat because you can just be like, the fence is weird. I'm gonna do something about it. Like, well, ideally, along the guidelines of whatever the fuck y'all have to do. But ideally,
because it's either that or that it disappears because it's there all the time.
Wow, yeah.
You know, that's the two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Is that stuff's gonna stay on the table if it stays on the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fence may stay like that for years because it stays like that.
Right.
You know, and so it's, you know, making your routine dope is if your routine has spaces to look at the thing and be like, I'm gonna do something about the thing, then you're good. That's responsible. But sometimes difficult. But yeah.
I just saw a critter. Was it a mole?
Oh, motherfucker.
I thought I saw a critter.
You probably did. What'd you see?
It looked dark. It was kind of quick. Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Looking a little mole-like.
God damn it.
To get the cats.
As long as it's not Skunkator.
Nah. I've seen a few dead skunks, more than I'd like to see, you know, like they're out and about these days, you know.
Skunkator came back and we had a conversation.
And you're like, hey man, get the fuck out.
So I put out the stuff. I put out my mothballs and stuff, and Skunkator went away.
Good.
Because skunks don't like the smell of mothballs.
Oh, that's good. My sister has some under her deck.
I got some like mothball things if you want.
I was gonna give him a 22.
Nah, let's push the mothballs out.
Kidding.
They don't. Skunks don't like bad smells.
I wouldn't get him.
But you saw something under there?
Yeah, I fucking saw a little dark streak and I heard something rustle.
God damn it! What is fucking under there? I've got to like.
I'll bring my pit bull over. She loves moles.
That's cool. I got a whatever the hell's under there. See, I thought I saw something under there the other day, but it doesn't stink.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, hopefully the raccoon's not back. I don't think that's it.
It wasn't quite that big.
But raccoons don't like the smell either. So, I don't know.
Stay away, vermin.
Yeah, this little spot that's been opened up under my freaking steps has become like the, I don't know, prime property of everything.
Someone paid me $200 to crawl under their deck and grab a dead animal once.
Oh, nice.
I was like, easiest $200 ever. Stunk like shit for a while, but...
I mean, yeah.
$200, man.
Death, yeah,
not
death
fucking
smells
around.
Bad. Well, I guess I'm fucking around with my steps today.
You'll be out here like, what's his face from Caddyshack?
Yeah. You better dance. You better have a dance. Need a theme song.
Just stringing TNT and det cord out there with the plunger.
Yep.
Yeah, the weather's starting to cool off. I've seen some trees starting to drop out.
Oh yeah, my tree's been dropping leaves. I've been basically vacuuming my lawn.
Right.
Just sucking up the leaves.
I love some fall though. Fall's my shit.
This fall in particular, if it is fall now, it might be 90 again next week. I don't know. But it's been really nice.
It's going to be gi week next week, so it's probably going to be hot because the past like 5 weeks I've been alternating. Like I go, no gi week.
Yeah, true.
Every single week. It's been like, this is no gi week. It's nice and cool. And then fucking gi week comes out sweltering, humid.
Again.
Yeah, and it's just terrible. And like, because I'm like, gi week, and like people see it, and then they're like, shit, it's hot as fuck. I'm not going to class. And then no gi's packed. Like,
oh man, that's funny.
Like,
well, okay. So like, maybe hot next week.
I'm just gonna do no gi summer.
Oh, that's kind of how no gi started, right?
Right.
It was just
pop the
too
gi
hot.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be kind of fun, but I don't know if I want to
to
train that much.
Henry Akins was on a random podcast, and he switched loyalties. He's with SBG now, right? And he was with
away from Hickson, or what do you mean? Like,
I don't know. He just joined SBG. I don't know that he'll ever be away from Hickson.
Right.
Can you really be away from Hickson?
No.
In jiu-jitsu, he's a part of all of us.
Yeah, like what is he?
Always. But no, he just joined SBG, so I don't think he's at Dynamics anymore though. From the sounds of it, he like moved to a different spot. But oh come on, I lost my train of thought again. He was talking about no-gi. He's like, yeah, in the summer times we just did no-gi because it was hot. And he's like, that's how I got exposed to no-gi.
Yeah.
You know,
Makes sense.
and like that was always the thing.
Yeah, now it's really crafted into almost like a preference thing, or like, I'm a no-gi grappler. It's like, you should probably do both, bud.
Grappling's grappling, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I liked your thought process on it. Because you just sort of forced it upon everybody because you were like, it's all the same. But it's not. You need to learn how to
It
handle
really just differs due to rule set. Like, a Kimura, you can do a Kimura in wrestling. You know, it won't serve you as well. It won't serve you for that rule set, you know?
Yeah.
You can do a crossface and whatever. It might serve you really well. You know, that's something that serves grappling across the board pretty well. But like, but that's a good example that like grappling is grappling. Crossfaces, you see it in judo, you see it in wrestling, you see it in jiu-jitsu, you see it in whatever, you know?
Yep. Or let's say scarf hold.
Yeah.
Which is I'm gonna start killing people with it.
Right.
Speaking of naked's soul stealing.
Oh yeah, there's so much like emphasis on like, oh, I'm a leg locker, or I'm a this or that. It's like, what happened to being a well-rounded grappler? Like,
I think the rule set thing.
Yeah.
Everyone started winning, or not everyone. Danaher's guys started winning with leg locks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they're like, well, shit.
But then like they kind of bounced back as well, and we're like, nah, we don't just do leg locks and start triangling everybody, and like
that was always the big secret, though. They're like, our leg locks are actually connected to things.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho! We have systems.
Right.
Interlocking systems.
Yeah.
And so like they fooled everybody. Everyone got good at leg locks, and they were like, oh, you learned how to defend that?
That's kind of
funny
funny
how
how
I'm gonna get you with now.
They shifted the focus of the entire culture over to that, and then decided that's some strategic shit right there.
Like,
you focus the shift of the
entire
focal point of everyone, and then you win another way.
Well, it's funny because they one up Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo focused everyone's attention onto no-gi, and then they're like, nah, we're getting even more specific. Look at the toe. Ha!
Yeah.
And then everyone's looking at their toe, and like, no, got your arm. Ah.
Yeah. And like you can even boil it down. Like, yeah, grappling is grappling, but it's also like these joints don't work this way. Make them not work this way. They don't like getting sat on and making their joints do bad stuff. Like,
bend
or
it
their
the
neck.
wrong way.
Like, yeah,
that's it. If it doesn't like to twist it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't like to bend it.
Exactly.
Let's do it slow.
It makes it more fun. Like that, if you let yourself kind of open up that way.
Agreed.
You can be like, oh, I'm gonna put my arm here and do this thing, and like.
I like that general approach. I like a conceptual approach to things because then you can apply it to everything. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about that from day one. That's how I've always approached it. But it's less satisfying. So you don't get as many rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rewards are conceptual. They're not always like.
You have to reframe a lot to see the reward. Like.
Yeah, you have to reframe it. Like my 35 minutes of jiu-jitsu on Monday, I finally understood elevation. Of like, we were elevating a leg to then grab said leg and switch the grip so that we could pull it out and use that to take their back.
Yeah.
And I was doing it wrong, and Vitor came over me and was like,
he told you.
Disappointed. He's like, no, just do this. You have to lift it up. I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
You just have to elevate the limb.
You gotta love like the skeleton key light bulb moment. Like, oh shit!
It was fucking awesome.
It's like Thanos. He's like, powered up. Like, oh fuck!
But because I plugged it back into the concept, it was a specific thing. But then once I understood that you just had to reposition your foot so that you could lift their leg up, and now they're floating, all their weight has to be on their arm. In which case you can now grab said leg. I was like, yo, that's it. Sweet.
Yeah. The weird part with that is like it took me so long to figure that shit out. It's like I needed alone time to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I needed time to be like, oh, this is what they were talking about. Oh, this is what they were talking about. Oh, this is what this meant. Like,
yeah,
and like adding layers and adding meaning to that and adding actual function to that, and then being able to teach it too.
Yeah, that's the hard crossover for me right now. Is I'm getting things conceptually, but I'm losing some details. Like I know how to get there.
I feel like that ebbs and flows.
But yeah, I guess I might be on the ebb of it right now. Of the details will come again at some point.
Yeah, like
But-
right now, it's just like, you trained, cool.
Yeah. Like, cool, got it, got the thing. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing, like, I've had some garbage days, but I'm like, another day on the right side of the dirt on the mat. Like, I'm pretty happy, you know. I had a buddy come in, and like, I haven't seen him forever, and he'd been overseas and stuff, and he was like doing stuff, and he came back and like started training, and like, and he's just like, there's nothing like another day on the mats. And I'm like, you're fucking right.
That's
like,
it. That's the truth.
That's
Yeah.
fucking true.
Yeah.
So that was like a nice reminder. Just like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like,
Well, it's all
nothing
worth
like
it if
another
you're
day on
here.
the mats. Yeah.
Action.
Another day around people choking each other, ripping legs. You know.
Community.
Yeah, it's just reinforcing community. Whether it's like having coffee with jiu-jitsu people and talking about this, you know, then it like reinforces and like like another layer of community, right? You can bond over this and expose each other to this and grow over that. Like,
I am looking forward to getting back to that. I am not a part of the community anymore. I've been gone too long. So what little connection I did have is gone.
that's what a lot of people are facing, you know.
I have to.
And that was
sort of
another thing of
get back in.
that article is like, people don't want to leave a community based on the fact that they're probably lonely afterward. You know what I mean?
that if they change their ideals, they lose their community. And so if changing involves loneliness as a consequence,
dig in.
they don't want to change, they'll dig in. Yeah.
And that is an interesting concept that I didn't really think about. Not that I like take time to try and convince people of anything, mostly just trying to join jiu-jitsu. Like,
Yeah, seriously,
but-
I don't try to convince people of anything anymore, but
yeah. I guess that's sort of an untold selling point of jiu-jitsu is like, there's a community there. Like, you know.
yeah, that I think people don't. I don't know if people can understand it because it's so different from what, like, I don't know, a normal community would be, like a work community or even friends. Like,
Yeah.
you become so much closer with someone just simply because you have to be so much closer to them.
Yeah.
Like, you have to touch them, you have to hug them, you have to, like,
But like, on top of that, like, you're doing dangerous shit. Like, if you fuck it up or if you know what I mean.
and the
like,
level of
take
trust
care of
is,
each other.
becomes so high
Yeah.
that it creates a bond that's very unusual to some people.
Yeah. And I just like, I've seen bonds, I've had bonds with people
But they're
through
different.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for each one in each different way, but and like some people you're closer to than others, and this thing that's just natural. But but I don't think that diminishes any other like lesser connection or like something that isn't as strong. Like, I don't like value one connection over another. Like, I'm like, yeah, we're connected. We're doing jiu-jitsu. Fuck yeah.
Connections
Like,
are good.
yeah, it's just.
But I think
it is.
it's different because it has it's connection on a lot of levels, and one of them is physical. Of where people don't. I think a majority of people don't really have any physical connections.
Yeah.
Like, how many people do you sit next to on a couch and you're touching them?
Right. It's almost, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what jiu-jitsu kind of is. Like, so that's a room full of humans.
And that was prior to COVID. Now people are going to be even weirder about touching each other afterwards. So
Or just super fucking grateful for it.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, that's a nice handshake, or that's a nice
Yeah.
hug.
It's a great hug, yeah. And so, like, that's always a weird thing to explain to people of you're okay with no personal space.
Yeah, it's not my preference, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, like, in a certain context, yeah. You know, like, yeah, I don't care if your leg's on me. Doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a.
Well, that's like, I think
fun
even
sell.
like some of the issue that like some people have getting into it is like they could see it as like sexualized or like something like that. It's like once you get in there, you realize it's 0%.
And if it is, you fucking.
Yeah, you found
something's
a wrong
with
spot.
you, man. Something's wrong with you. You need to go somewhere.
Something's going on.
You
but,
need
like,
to get some therapy.
some shit's happening.
But yeah, I know. People see physical contact as it's overly sexualized.
Yeah.
And that's like that kind of speaks to the lack of connection our society has.
Yeah.
Because people just aren't physically connected.
Right.
Just to
But then even
be.
just the way like TV portrays it, it's like
Yeah, true.
even jiu-jitsu and it's portrayed as something weird on
Yeah.
on TV, but then like even touching, you know.
Yeah, touching. How many people you see like actually? Yeah, touching's a weird thing because it's not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Community. That's what we're after today.
Okay. So. Okay.
Cool.
Hug your friends responsibly.
Yeah.
All right.
Wash your hands.
All right, y'all.
Keep your coffee regular.
Peace in, everybody.